I got another friend's invite this week. And I don't get it. I mean, I get these invitations from people, and that's it. There's nothing that goes with it. There's no, hey, I stand for this, I question this, or why I'm offering the friends invite. Nothing. So I have to do my own investigation. Well, the first one was from an individual who has come to realize his self and his ability to interact with existence. And at the moment, life is a bowl of cherries for him. And the second one is from a person who believes they are a preacher, or at least that's my perception. And they are consider themselves a moderate Calvinist. And I mean, I don't know why. Why did they ask me to be their friend? I understand and can relate to both ideas, but in both cases I think there's more. I mean, the quasi-existentialist has yet to reply to my questions as to what value he places in the external. And the Calvinist, the moderate Calvinist preacher, he strongly believes that Christ died for his sins. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't want anybody to die for my sins. I would prefer to die for my own, or I would prefer to pay for my own. And with regards to being born again, we're born again each moment that we learn something new, or each day we wake up and we promise that we're not going to do exactly what we did yesterday. We're born again. And we don't need salvation until somebody tells us we do. Up until then, it's just experiencing life, learning how to get along. Because we can't hurt God. We can't upset God. That would allude to having this tremendous power. I used to think I could. And some of the things I did just for that purpose, to upset God. But I was more or less playing with myself. So if you wish to preach to me, you must open yourself up to questioning. Or I'll let you know now that I've heard enough preaching in my life. If you were correct in your assumptions, then the world would beat a path to your door, instead of just being another group of people that think people should believe in a certain manner. I wrote an article today in the Post. I posted an article today in the forum that I'm active And it goes like this. The title of the post was Uniqueness. Reality is a state of things as they actually exist, rather than as they may appear or may be thought to be. For example, when we are young, we may pick up a rock and believe that it is solid, that it is inert. Yet, at a later date, after viewing the rock under magnification, we see that it isn't really solid or inert at all, but it is spacious and contains moving parts. But what effect does this have on the individual? In most cases, little or none. He or she still goes on as if the rock is solid and inert, even though intellectually they know, having seen with their own eyes, that this is not so. Why? In my opinion, it is because it doesn't add to their world, or it is not practical to function in their world with this realization. To do so would make them odd man out, so to speak. Imagine knowing something to be not true or real, and yet still functioning as if it were true and real. We live in a reality where each individual has their own unique perception of the reality of which we are all but a part. Each person is alone in their own perception of reality, and this is a frightening realization. Most people will not face alone, so they then form groups with others of possible similar perceptions to find solace, believing that in numbers their perceptions are validated, never questioning other members of their group too deeply for fear of what they may find. They are frightened, so they forge shields and swords which they use to defend and attack their fears as they wait to be delivered from their fears, never realizing that their greatest fear is simply that they are unique. That's it for today.